Vince McMahon, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H feel that, despite the conspicuous nature of the way Rikishi walked out on his match against The Undertaker last week in SmackDown, and how he hasn't shown to Raw as of yet, the Samoan Savage will not only make it to the arena, but will also make the right decision by the time Raw goes off the air. Enter the Brothers of Destruction, intent on revenge after the Game and the Rattlesnakes attack on The Undertaker during his match with Rikishi. The American Badass demands a tag team title match for tonight. Stone Cold and Triple H actually agree to the demand, on the proviso that if Austin and Triple H win, then Taker and Kane will no longer get a shot at WWF Gold. There are more twists as the main event approaches. Linda decides that the WWF Tag Team titles can change hands by count-out or disqualification. Vince later changes the match to overrule Linda, as the Tag Team title main event is now no holds barred. Moments before the main event is underway, Rikishi arrives at the arena. With Stephanie and Vince accompanying Triple H and Stone Cold, and with the news that Rikishi is in the building, it's looking like a bleak mid-spring for The Undertaker and Kane heading into the WWF Tag Team title match. We open up SmackDown with Rikishi, who comes to the ring and grabs a mic, but before he can talk, he's interrupted by Commissioner Regal. As Rikishi now looks like he'd rather attack Regal than speak, Steve Austin and Triple H come out. The three of them surround Rikishi in the ring. Before the two-man power trip get a chance to attack, the new WWF Tag Team Champions, the Brothers of Destruction, come to the rescue. Austin, Triple H and Regal walk back up the ramp. Crash is with Hardcore Holly. The ever-manic Crash tells his cousin how they managed to overcome insurmountable odds by beating Jericho and Benoit on Raw, and they're being rewarded by Commissioner Regal as they have the chance to become WWF Tag Team Champions later tonight. Oh, we can be the new Tag Team Champions, cousin! We can leave with the gold! Oh, I'm going to grab Taker by his scrawny neck, and I'm going to throw him around and psh! Hardcore Holly slaps Crash across the face. Will you shut up? You're giving me a damn headache already! And walks off. Hey, what was that for? As Crash walks off to catch up with him. After succumbing to fatigue and the numbers advantage on Raw, Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit find themselves on a more even playing field when they take on the team of the One Billy Gunn and the Big Boss Man. Jericho and Benoit recorded singles victories on Raw against the One and the Boss Man respectively, and have now been put into a tag team match against the men that cost them a chance of a possible victory against Regal, Angle and the Hollies on Raw. Regal tries to distract Jericho, but Jericho and Benoit defeat Billy Gunn and Big Boss Man to win. Chris Jericho sees Regal at the top of the stage and runs after him. As Benoit is still celebrating in the ring, Kurt Angle's music hits. Angle gives a slow, sarcastic clap towards the rabid Wolverine and says, "Hey Benoit, I'm impressed. You managed to win a match without cheating. You must be awfully proud of yourself. Well done, Chris Benoit." Benoit retorts, "That's right, Angle. You see, I don't need to cheat or to have the odds stacked against me for me to win. Just like our ultimate submission match at Backlash, when I beat you, when I made you tap, and then I made you tap again, and then again, and again, and again, and again, and hey, shut up! Don't you forget you didn't beat me at Backlash? It was a draw! You needed overtime to beat me! You cheated!" Benoit, smiling at how irate the Olympic gold medalist is, gestures with his hands for Kurt to calm down. "I'll tell you what, Kurt," he says. "Let's finish this at Judgment Day. You and me, one more time." Angle points the finger at Benoit and then himself, and nods his head. "Okay, but I'm going to make sure you don't cheat your way to victory. You see, this isn't going to be a one-fall match, Benoit. I'm going to beat you in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Woo!" Angle raises his arms in the air, whilst Benoit's sadistic smile widens to show that ever-familiar toothless grin. Eddie Guerrero is with the Hardy Boys and Lita backstage. Whilst Latino Heat is thankful for letting the Hardys and Lita let him hang out with them, he tells European champion Matt Hardy that he can take care of Edge and Christian on his own tonight. He also talks with Lita. "Hey Lita, you need any pointers on how to beat China, you let me know. I'm your guy." Matt Hardy clears his throat really loud to indicate that the ninth wonder of the world is stood behind him. "Oh hey mommy, shut up Eddie, you've done enough talking. Lita, I need you to be focused tonight, because Regal has booked us in a 3-on-2 handicap match." Lita tells Chyna she's ready. Chyna and Eddie glance at each other as the women's champion walks off. Triple H, Stone Cold and Vince are walking backstage, still incensed after losing the tag team titles on Raw and not being able to get their hands on Rikishi. Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley are conversing and laughing. Stone Cold glances at them and asks, "What's so damn funny?" Devon responds, "Oh, we're just laughing about," when Austin interrupts, "Was I asking you, boy?" Bubba responds, "Hey man, what's your problem?" To which Stone Cold replies, "Right now, you're my damn problem." Bubba Ray, not backing down from this, says, "Oh really? Well let's see you do something about it." Stone Cold has his hands up in the air as if he's going to be arrested by cops. He smiles and walks back when Triple H comes and attacks Devon from behind, allowing Stone Cold to attack Bubba Ray Dudley. Austin and Triple H beat down the Dudleys, leave them down and out, and walk away. Edge and Christian talk about Edge's upcoming match against Eddie Guerrero tonight. Edge remarks, "We beat Eddie on Raw, and now we can humiliate him tonight with total offbeat shenanigans." Christian agrees, "That's right, Operation Bury Guerrero is put into place and then we can work at getting that European title off Matt Hardy." They clinch forearms with each other and walk off. Oh man, total offbeat shenanigans and burying rules. Coincidentally, the following singles match comes as a result of that 8-man tag team match Edge and Christian were just talking about, as Test takes on X-Pac. During the match, and knowing that X-Pac may have the advantage when it comes to backup, the Hardy Boys come out during the match on behalf of Test. The evening of the odds allows Test to hit the big boot and get the victory over X-Pac. Jericho continues to look for Regal backstage, but bumps into Stephanie down the corridor. Well, 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 if it isn't Y2J. You look a little lost, Chris. Are you searching for someone? Jericho tells Stephanie he isn't in the mood for small talk or romance, and if he did want to search for someone, then Stephanie would be the last person he's looking for. Stephanie isn't too impressed with the comment, but then begins to smile at Y2J. You know what, Chris? I think the person you may be searching for may not be too far away. Steph looks behind Jericho. Jericho, puzzled, turns around and is attacked by Big Show, who clubs Y2J in the back and then throws him from one side of the corridor to the other. Stephanie, now with William Regal, laugh at Jericho's misfortune. Taker, with Kane, approaches Rikishi. The American Badass tells the Samoan that while he's glad that Rikishi isn't affiliated with Triple H, Stone Cold or Vince, he has to be careful and watch his back now. Taker reminds Rikishi what has happened these past few months with Stone Cold, and that Rikishi might as well have a target on his back, as Stone Cold will stop at nothing to exact his revenge. Rikishi smiles a little at Taker, walks off and exclaims, "Right." X-Pac is with Justin Credible and Albert, holding his head after the defeat to Test. He's upset with the Hardy Boys, who came down to ringside to help Test, and tells Albert and Justin Credible that this isn't over, and to follow him. Regal talks with Austin, Triple H, Vince, Stephanie and Deborah, and says that to beat the animal that is Rikishi, one has to become an animal. Vince looks perplexed. Are you calling yourself an animal, Regal? Oh, no, not me. But I do have someone in mind with that description. You'll see. Regal walks off as Vince smiles, but Austin and Triple H are wondering what on earth, or who on earth, Regal is talking about. An excited Crash walks to the ring as Hardcore Holly shakes his head. The Hollies are rewarded by Regal following their victory in a handicap match on Raw, and are the first to get a tag team title shot against the Brothers of Destruction. However, the match doesn't last long, as Undertaker makes quick work of the Hollies, or rather, Crash. The Brothers of Destruction make their first retention of the WWF Tag Team titles. Triple H and Steve Austin are running down to the ring, looking ready to attack the Brothers of Destruction, but Kane and Taker are quick to notice this. They don't even make it to the ring. They get to the top of the apron, but then jump down and walk back up the ramp. Triple H and Stone Cold are at the curtain when they talk with Vince about not being able to attack the Brothers of Destruction when X-Factor approaches. Vince firmly asks X-Pac, "What do you want?" X-Pac tells Triple H, Austin and Vince that they overheard the Hardy Boys talking about Austin and Triple H. X-Pac, clearly stirring the pot, tells the two-man power trip that the Hardy Boys are glad that Triple H and Austin got what's coming to them. Austin, Triple H and Vince storm off as X-Pac, Justin Credible and Albert laugh at what X-Pac has done. Commissioner William Regal comes to the ring and demands that Rikishi get his large behind into the ring now. Regal tells the Samoan that his opponent, the animal that Regal was alluding to earlier, is the man-beast Rhino, and no, this will not be a match for the Hardcore Championship. The animalistic intentions of the man-beast Rhino aren't enough to stop the Samoan Savage, as Rikishi picks up the victory over Rhino with a Samoan driver. The celebrations are immediately cut short when a Titantron displays Austin and Triple H attacking the Hardys backstage. Rikishi sees this, leaves the ring and runs up the ramp. He intervenes in the attack but only gets beaten down himself for his troubles. Ivory is with the hull of Right to Censor when they meet Molly Holly and Terry outside the women's locker room. Ivory says, whilst looking at Terry and Molly, putting their transgression aside for the way Terry and Molly are dressed, that they should work together to take out China and Lita. If they can do that, then maybe there's a future women's title shot for the three of them. Terry lets out a short giggle and claims Right to Censor need to work well together like my acids work well together, if you know what I mean. Molly smiles. Ivory and the rest of RTC aren't as amused. The Undertaker and Kane find the Dudleys in the medical room. Ice packs on the heads of Bubba and Devon after the attack earlier by Austin and Triple H. Taker exclaims, No! Get off your ass, and you, get off your ass too. Both of you, follow me now. We need to have a talk. Vince is with Austin, Triple H and Big Show. Whilst he's happy that they put the Dudleys and the Hardys in their place, they still aren't happy with not being able to get revenge on the Brothers of Destruction. Triple H and Austin say that this is far from over. Meanwhile, the camera pans back to show that Test is stood outside the office where they're talking. Test is on his phone, but he's also listening a while to the conversation. He says to the caller, "You hear that? They're upset because they're no longer the tag team champions." Test laughs and walks away. So much for Ivory trying to motivate Molly and Terry, let alone the right to censor, as even a numbers advantage can't pull away the team of Chyna and Lita. In fact, it's Ivory who's the one getting pinned by Lita in a 2-on-3 handicap match. Right to censor, however, decide that the blame lays elsewhere. Terry runs away, so they focus their attention on Molly. Crash and Hardcore rush to the ring and save Molly before any damage can be done. The Brothers of Destruction are in a locker room with the Dudley Boys, the Hardy Boys and Rikishi. He tells everyone that enough is enough and it's time to stand up and fight. He specifically refers to the Hardys and the Dudleys. "You guys really want to make a name for yourself? You know what you have to do, so do it!" Chyna compliments Lita in getting the victory in the 2-on-3 handicap match and says that she's earned a title shot. So Chyna will defend her Women's Championship against Lita at Judgment Day. Steve Austin and Triple H come down to the ring with Big Show and Commissioner Eagle walking behind. They say they're not leaving unless the Brothers of Destruction come down. They don't want to fight, they just want to talk. The Dudley Boys then come out and they're soon joined by the Hardy Boys. Bubba tells Triple H and Austin that they don't want to talk, they want to fight. So Regal makes the match official, an 8-man tag team match. Regal, Big Show, Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin against the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. Christian's antics aren't enough to fan the flames of Latino heat as Eddie Guerrero defeats Edge with the frog splash to win. Triple H, Austin, Regal and Big Show are walking to the curtain as the 8-man tag team match is about to start when Test comes round the corner. Without any thought, they all decide to attack Test when Undertaker and Kane make the save. The fall back off as Taker tells them that they've got a match to get to. The Dudleys and the Hardys give it the best shot, even with Taker and Kane watching from ringside. But when it all breaks down as superstars are fighting out of the ring, Stone Cold Steve Austin hits the stunner and Devon Dudley to win the match. Chris Jericho and Test storm the ring, now putting the odds against Regal, Austin, Triple H and Big Show. The Game, the Rattlesnake and the Giant all make it out of the ring, but Regal is surrounded. The Dudleys, the Hardys, the Brothers of Destruction, Test and Y2J all surround the Commissioner in the ring. It doesn't end well for Regal. Twist of Fate, Swanton Bomb, Lion Salt, 3D, Chokeslam, and finally a Tombstone. Big Show, Austin and Triple H watch in horror, but if that wasn't enough, Rikishi noticed that the WWF Championship is still laying in the ring. Austin's forgotten to get it. Rikishi picks it up and holds it high. Austin is incensed, but Rikishi throws the belt out of the ring for Austin to pick up, and gestures having the gold around his waist as SmackDown comes to a close. It's a 76, but I've noticed that the not enough good storylines note is no longer present in the Road Agent notes, which is encouraging. Whether that lasts or not is yet to be seen. I've changed some of the pay-per-view dates, one of which is Judgment Day. It's normally held on Sunday week 3 of May, but I've put that back to Sunday week 4. So we're now officially halfway towards Judgment Day with 2 matches now announced. Kurt Angle taking on Chris Benoit in a 2 out of 3 falls match, and Chyna defending her Women's Championship against Lita. If anyone watching pro wrestling at this time has an eidetic memory, you will know that Judgment Day wasn't the only pay-per-view in May 2001. Now I'll let you guess as to what I'm referring to, as I'm not going to reveal it now, but as part of the story. But I've also changed that date. That's now going to be held in June. Much appreciation for the comments so far, and as always, thank you for watching.